Hello everyone, welcome to another Star Citizen Addicts Anonymous. I am Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo and this is episode 35. Wow, that's a lot. I say that every time because I've probably had 3 or 4 videos in between, maybe 5 or 6 videos in between the last Star Citizen AA episode 34 and this. Well, I want to go over a couple things first. First and foremost, I want to thank every one of the 855 of you that subscribe at this point. I know not everyone watches Star Citizen AA. You're really waiting for those new War Thunder and Kerbal Space Program and other videos. I'm expanding them into Elite Dangerous, as you'll see, probably a few hours before this goes up. And also World of Tanks. Yes, it's a guilty pleasure, but I like playing it. And although I suck, I think I could bring some humorous content to that. So for all of you that have subscribed, I really appreciate it. And the big push right now is the push to 1,000, which is why we're having the Super Hornet contest. And the Super Hornet was provided by Ben Lesnick of Cloud Imperium Games. And of course, you can't get this right now. It's not in the store. It's not LTI, I'm sorry, but it is a limited ship that not everyone is able to buy. And I believe the ship is like somewhere between 150 and 180. So the way to enter is to share each and every one of my videos. I don't care what video it is. It could be the Addicted Gamer videos, Let's Pew Pew, or these. And share them in share them to one of the 3 social networks listed: Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Snap a screen, collect the screens, 3 of them per video. I will grandfather in the old ones, but I need this to be a little bit easier for me to count. So you could have 3 entries per video, 1 share for each one of those 3 social networks. So you're going to put those screen captures of those shares into an email and send it to theaddictedgamer@gmail.com. And then make sure from now on you put Super Hornet Contest in the, in the subject line. It's important because I'm about to announce another contest and give you some information about why I'm doing this, all right? So all of you that have already sent me emails, it's becoming a burden with some of you with 6, 8, and 10 shares in each one of the videos. So this is the way I want to do it. Per episode, I need you to have only the 3 shares for that episode. So you might have to send me multiple emails. I know this is a burden. It's a burden on me too. But you know what? We're giving away the Super Hornet. Second piece is, I have an idea. And as you see, I've been doing lots more videos and I'm expanding into others. And I want SCAA to be the network of shows that deal with Star Citizen. And I'm going to be doing many. I'm going to have a podcast. I'm starting with Dr. Hawk tonight, and you'll hear next Monday. And we're going to have James Pugh on that first episode. And I'm going to be doing, of course, this video and some Let's Pew Pew and some definite Arena Commander tutorials as time goes on. So I want Star Citizen AA to be the network above that. This show needs a name, something other than SCAA. I know everybody thinks that that is a great name. I'm sure some of you don't even care, so I shouldn't say everybody. But I would like a more news-related item, because my idea for this show is to, A, buy this, and I need your help with this. So if you could go out to if you go out to StarCitizenAA.com and help me purchase this by donating some money. This is going to be about $199 to do what I want to do, which is to purchase this, paint it silver, have it down here, and have a news desk. And I want to do this show as in-game news for the first portion of it, and then instead of in-game, I'm going to step out of that role and do it as game industry Star Citizen related in the second part of the show. I think it's going to be fun. I have the format down. I've shot a couple of pilots and showed them to friends, and it's fun, okay? So I want to get this. I want to have it over here, painted silver, put the SCAA logo on it, or what I'm hoping for is what the name of the show is going to be, all right? So help me out with this, and it will be great. So how am I going to do this? Come up with a name for the show, and I'm going to take a vote on it, all right? And we'll do it at the... We'll do it, let's see, where could we do the vote? Should we do it in thread? Maybe this one I'll create a thread over in the fan fiction, or in the fan website piece. Or I'll put it into the StarCitizenAA.com. I'll get with Eris, who is our webmistress, and I'll see what she says about that. But for now, if you have an idea for a name of the show, start sending them to me at theaddictedgamer@gmail.com and put Star Citizen AA title contest in the subject field. All right? And we'll come up with how we're going to arrange this in the future. Maybe we won't go with a vote. Maybe I'll just pick the best one, and whoever wins, wins it. I think that's better. That way I pick the name that I think best suits the show. All right, sorry about all that confusion over there. Let's get into the news. Oh yeah, before we go, remember, the donate button is on the StarCitizenAA.com page. I know I've asked for donations before. I'm not a grub. I do a lot of content for you, and I'm telling you, over 8 months, I haven't even made $100 doing this, and I've outlaid over $1,500 of my own money to do the show, and it might be way over. So this game's crowdfunded. Maybe you guys could help me fund this so I can make the show better for you and bring you content that you really want to see. All right, so it's been 2 weeks since we did a show, and we've had quite a number of things that are going on. About 5 weeks from now, Gamescom is going on, so I think all 2,000 invitees have gotten their RSVPs for Gamescom. I'm not going. I don't have a way to get to Germany or the time to take off at this point. I am definitely going to look for one of y'all to help me out and provide me with some content, whether it be some video or whatever. So if you're going to Gamescom, please do whatever you can to help out my show and send me whatever information you have so I could put it here. But there is something coming at Gamescom, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. CIG also released 12.4 and the Arena Commander update, which is not version 9.0. It's just an addition to version 0.8, sorry, 0.9. It's version 0.8, and they increased the number of backers that are allowed to play in multiplayer to 200,000. I'm 241,000, so I'm still not in the multiplayer, which is why you are not getting content. I'm kind of sick and tired of the Vanduul Swarm. I get to level 13. I probably could push to level 15, but playing that game so long is crazy. But they've pushed up to 200,000 backers, and they've also started to initiate squadron play. The closest example of what this might be would be War Thunder. In War Thunder, you get tickets. In this case, in Arena Commander, you're going to have 100,000 tickets on each side. And as you kill each other, those tickets tick down until there is a victor. Allergies have my voice going. I apologize. So I haven't had an opportunity to play, but I've heard that there's been a lot of glitches, which there should be. This is an alpha, and we're trying to help them make it better. And as they correct those glitches, they're going to get to a point where they're going to let the rest of us in to start playing. I can't wait to play and kick some of y'all butts. Second piece of this is the monthly report. And to go over every piece of the monthly report and talk about multiplayer ships and the Javelin and all the ships that they mentioned in here would be nuts. So let me pull out a couple of things, all right? My big thing that I'm waiting for is Squadron 42, because we are going to get that before the Persistent Universe. In Squadron 42, it's going to be a dynamic mission arc where each one of your battles you win, lose, or draw affects what battles you're going to get next, what missions you're going to get next. And playing games that Aaron Roberts was part of, like Privateer 2 The Darkening, which was awesome. I believe Eric Peterson was also on that game. If he wasn't, please correct me. But that was a fun game. That leads me to think that this is going to be an amazing piece of the Star Citizen universe, and I can't wait to play. The first 4 missions are white boxed out. What that means is that they have the ideas on paper, they have the scripts written and what's going on in the mission, and now what they have to do is shoot the scenes and pretty much detail it out, and well, then they'll be done. Of course, we won't see this until it goes into beta, which is kind of weird. This is something that I don't want to beta. I want to jump right into, because I hate beta testing a mission arc style game, because I want to be in the thick of it from the start. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to find out ahead of time and then have to go back, start over, and go through the same missions again. I hope when they start beta testing it, they throw a couple tutorial missions and missions that are in the game, but might be prequels to the game itself. That way we don't get teased and spoiled of the outcome of how things are going to go. All right, so the Avenger is going to make it into 0.9 if that ever gets out. That's going to be version 13 of the Hangar, version 0.9 of Arena Commander. There is a tie-in to Gamescom here, and if you read the detailed June report, you get to this. We are working on... we were working out Gamescom. I copied and pasted this, and sometimes the things they write don't make sense. We are working on Gamescom release in 6 weeks. And then it says, what is that? Come on, Chris. You know, what they're saying is if you want to know what that is, go ahead and ask Chris, because they're not going to tell you. So essentially, when Gamescom comes around in 5 weeks, there's going to be some big release that's going on in the game. It could be anything from version 0.9 to the Avenger being, which is part of version 0.9, to multiplayer ships, to Constellation variants, which I hope are out long before that. I hope that's Retaliator variants at that point, which I doubt since they just started working on the commercial. There's a lot that this could be. I'm hoping that we don't have to wait that long to see the Connie variants. Speaking of which, there's a lot of talk throughout this from CGBot, Austin, and different places like the Foundry 42 about how they're working on multiplayer ships. And then they talk about the variants and damage models of the Constellation Retaliator and the Freelancer and other items like that. So they're really working hard on getting the multiplayer ships out, but at the same time, in Around the Verse, which I'll play over here, but you won't hear it, they talk about moving... Oh, sorry, that wasn't Around the Verse. Let's go. It was 10 for the Chairman. Chris talked about the 64-bit move on the engine and how it's proving to be a little bit more difficult than they thought. They've got the CryEngine team working with them, but they need it to make bigger maps and to also work out the physics and the multiplayer stations that are going on. The way multiplayer stations are going to work right now is that in the future, you're going to be able to sit at a station and have a wide variety of tasks that you could perform. However, currently, you're going to be assigned to a station that will have a specific task until that other piece comes in. Also, in the future, the captain of the ship will be able to grant you privileges to different systems and different roles on the ship. Again, I don't think that's coming out with version 1.0. So multiplayer ships and the big giant ships are all being worked on, and really it seems like they're tied to the 64-bit cross-grade or conversion of the Star Citizen's engine, I should say, graphic engine, to the 64-bit model. So what else is going on? The big thing that I saw in here was a tidbit about how delightful it is to walk around the Javelin. Now, the Javelin is something that I expect to be in Squadron 42, but not for us to be able to buy. It's a destroyer. The biggest thing that we're going to get is a frigate, which started out as a corvette. Some of my members have it. It's the Idris or Idris P, and I can't wait to see those and jump onto their accounts to take a look at it and do a huge review on the Idris, because it's going to be a wonderful ship to walk around. But I'm sure before we get that, we're going to have Connie and Retaliator in our hangars, not to mention Cutlass variants and Avenger variants and other things that are coming out. I mean, they talk about so many ships in this one. Mustang, Gladiator, Gladius, a brand new heavy fighter that looks badass, but not done. So there's a lot that they're teasing us with, but not showing us. In fact, there was a whole piece about talking about the Constellation, and I should, at this point, remember to put this up of what they say. It's like, and the variants, which are redacted, comma, redacted, comma, redacted, and redacted. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. 4 variants of the Constellation? Well, that's easy for me to pick. I'm going to do an upgrade to the one I own to whatever the limited ship is, and then buy one later on in game, whatever version I like. I think that's the easiest one. But I will need some of your help to let me into an account so I can do a review of whatever the other variants are when that time comes. All right, we can keep going into this, but I don't want to. I want to end this episode with I want to end with this. This is something that I picked up on in a version of Around the Verse. So we're looking at right now is the asteroid hangar and the making of the asteroid hangar video. And it's amazing. And one of the things I picked up on was when Sandy and I think James did the news, or it might have been when Sandy and Ben did the news last week, they very quickly went over that they're working on updates to the hangars. So for me, as I'm going through the report, I see this gorgeous picture of the constellation sitting inside the deluxe hangar. I think, wow, they're going to upgrade the deluxe hangar to make it not look so Buck Rogers ugly. But in reality, what they were doing was releasing this, which is the first hangar that's going to be fully implemented with the room system, and then transferring that room system over to the, I keep getting the first one wrong, discount, business, and deluxe hangars. Now the room system was that cool little video that they showed where the guy typed in what kind of room he wanted on his Moby Glass, which we don't have in our life right now. And then the room was constructed over a course of real-time in-game. Then you were able to go into your living quarters, your office, your gun range, your mechanics station, whatever it was. Currently, most of that stuff is just splattered around our hangar. Understand that in the future, you know, in your room you might have your trophy case, or in your office you might have your trophy case. We're going to be able to move those things around. So those things are being implemented into the 3 old hangars, but right now, the asteroid hangar, which is amazingly gorgeous, awesome. And yes, I saw a Connie in there, which means I might be able to use that Connie when I said no pirates. I might be able to use it as a pirate ship. Nonetheless, I do have a Cutlass, and in my redacted account, Cosmic Cat with a K, I am part, we'll just leave it that way. My other account will be a pirate. So I kind of make it seem like I don't like him, but it's only because Nikki Batgirl D'Angelo is a reporter, not a pirate. So Cosmic Cat will be my pirate. So that's about all I want to talk about for this week, because there's a lot of news going on, and I know over the next couple of weeks there are going to be thrown a lot more things. So let's start this week by just ending with that, and then me just going back and to remind you to share this as much as you can. Like it down below, please. Everything helps us get to that 1,000 mark. And at 1,000, I'm giving away the Super Hornet. And again, I'll give away something big, a 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. All right? So I got for you this week. I've got a new Let's Pew Pew that should be out just before this. Make sure you watch it. It talks a little bit about Elite Dangerous and about the differences between Star Citizen and Elite. I'm not an expert, but I did well on it. I put out the Let's Pew Pew, which had to do with the X55 tutorial, how to do curves and deadbands. In the next one, I'm going to talk about throttle control inside of Arena Commander and why that's important. And of course, in my Let's Pew Pew videos, they're open game, right? So I'm probably going to throw some of my other space type games, like maybe I'll go and I'll do an episode of one of the X Rebirths, which is a harder game, not as fun, but I want to give some comparisons about how they do travel and stuff inside there. That's about it. So I'm going to take my leave of you. Thank you very much. And don't forget, 2 contests and kind of a begging for help. First contest I already talked about. Second contest, name the show. And then the third thing is, if you can help me get that desk and make a donation to that site, click on the donate button, it would be a big help so I can help improve the show. And the minute I get that, I'll paint it, I'll get it set up in my studio here, and henceforth, in front of this gorgeous window sitting at that desk, I'll be giving you the news both inverse and in the real world. Thank you all. You all be safe out there, and I'll see you soon.